you tell your king that William Wallace will not be ruled, and nor will any Scot while he lives. I speak of William Wallace because I had the opportunity to travel to Scotland this summer. First, we started in Edinburgh, Scotland, with a population of almost 500,000. It was formed on the descending ridge of Castle Rock. We first went to Edinburgh Castle, which was built in the plug of a volcanic rock, and it dates back all the way to 3,000 years and was built by David the First. We then went on to St. Giles Cathedral, which is a medieval tower and the key to the city landmark. Its oldest part dates back to 1124, and the name St. Giles derives from the patron saint of the crippled. We headed off to see the Queen's Royal Yacht, Britannia, and it first launched in April 16, 1953. It does not sail anymore, and it stopped sailing in December 11, 1997, after sailing over 1 million miles. My favorite part of visiting Edinburgh was when we headed down to Cameron, and there we visited Lauriston Castle. There were 3 owners of this castle. First, Alexander Napier, from 1572 to 1629. He was a scientist. Second was John Law. He owned it 1671 to 1729, and he was the world's first millionaire. The last owner was W.R. Reed. He owned it 1902 to 1919, and the house is still furnished the same way he left it. The oldest part of the castle is known as a Scottish keep, and it was built for the Napier family in 1593. Between 1824 and 1827, a 2-story extension was built by William Byrne for Thomas Allen. He was a banker, and he owned the Caledonian Mercury newspaper. An upper story was later added to the servants' wing in 1870s underneath the library. My favorite part of the whole castle was in the gardens. It was furbished by William Henry, and the garden was built in the 1840s, and it's a Japanese garden for tranquility. There's a bridge and a waterfall, and you can see the Cayman Islands in the background. After Edinburgh, we headed off to the Scottish Highlands, which is Inverness is the capital. The population is 72,000, and Inverness means mouth of the River Ness. First, we traveled to Culloden Battlefield, where Prince Charlie led the Jacobites into battle. It only took 40 minutes, and the prince lost 1,200 men out of 5,000, while the duke lost 300 men out of 9,000. Then we went to Loch Ness, which is 25,000 miles long, and this is where Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, resides. St. Andrew's Cathedral is the seat of the Scottish Episcopal Church, and it's Victorian architecture. The last day we were there, we headed to Cawdor Castle, which is located in Nairn, and is home of the Thames of Cawdor, who still travel there every winter and spend every winter there, so you cannot tour during the winters. It is supposedly linked by Shakespeare in the play Macbeth, which was not true. It has a medieval tower, and it was built around the legendary holly tree. There's 3 gardens. There's a big wood that has a big river running through it. There's over 1,000 different species that have been found, including plants and animals. After we went to Inverness, we headed to London, England, which the population is close to 9 million. London was founded in 43 AD, which is a long time. We first went to Buckingham Palace to see the changing of the guard. It is the official residence of the Britain sovereigns, and they first started living there since 1837. The Tower of London is located on the north bank of the River Thames. William the Conqueror is the one who built the Tower of London in the 11th century. You can see all the crown jewels from all the kings and queens here, and this is also where they would behead you and imprison you if you pissed the king or queen off. Westminster Abbey is located close to the Tower of London. It's Gothic architecture, and the coronation of the kings and queens take place here. Prince William and Princess Kate were just married here. You can find the unknown soldier, Darwin, most of the kings and queens buried here, and the book by Dan Brown, The Da Vinci Code, was based on the Westminster Abbey. My favorite part of London is Big Ben, because I first saw it in the movie Peter Pan, and it's my favorite movie. So I don't call it Big Ben, I call it the Peter Pan clock. The Elizabeth Tower was completed in 1859. The Great Clock started on May 31st with the Great Bell's first strikes on July 11th. The Quarter Bell's first chime September 7th, and it's connected to Parliament. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. A quote from Mark Twain, and I believe this is true because traveling to different countries enriches you as a person, and it opens your mind to different things. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? No? Okay.